Hi everyone, I'm Ben with IWS, and today I'm going to be sharing something with you that you've never seen before. Today we're going to be introducing you to the all-new 2024 off-grid Renegade Veracruz. Let's take a look. Okay everyone, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm so excited to share this with you. If you know anything about us at IWS, you know we're all about purpose-built trucks, Super C RVs, the Renegade product. That's what we've made our bread and butter. But we've never offered anything like this until today, and that is this IWS Off-Grid Series Renegade Veracruz. And you might have seen some of the videos we've done in the past of the Veracruz, but it's not like anything you've seen before. Standing behind me today, we've teamed up with Liquid Springs and Elevation Off-Grid, as well as Renegade, to produce this monster behind me. And I want to get into all the detailed specs about what we did, where I'm standing right now, how did we get here, because with a normal RV, you just couldn't get to where I'm standing today. So let's do an in-depth walk around, stick around, we're gonna have some fun. Okay, we got a lot going on with this thing, so I want to start with the basics. How did we get here today? So first of all, if you don't know the Renegade product, this is a Veracruz, and this particular floor plan is the 30 VRM. So this is a 30-foot overall bumper-to-bumper vehicle. We're going to talk a lot about more of the floor plan when we go inside, but I thought it'd be good for you to know just the overall specs of this. We build all of our Veracruzes on the Ford F550 XLT chassis, which uses the Powerstroke 6.7 liter diesel engine, 330 horsepower, well over 800 foot-pounds of torque. We're starting with a commercial grade spec F550, which is really built all ready to go for people that like to go off-road or that want to abuse their vehicle. This is a very stout chassis and one that we sell in our towing equipment side all the time. And a stock Veracruz is a lot lower to the ground. You get stock wheels and tires from Ford. While a great offering, we wanted to offer something different. We wanted something for you overlanders, or if you're like us, that four-wheel, that go off-road, that want to get somewhere that your normal Veracruz, or really many RVs or any of our Super Cs, really couldn't get to. And that's where Liquid Springs came in and saved the day for us. So I want to talk about Liquid Springs, and you'll be able to see the Liquid Springs suspension, and I've been using it for well over a week with our sales and marketing team, researching this, understanding what it's truly capable of, going off-road, going on freeways, and utilizing this to see, so I could tell you what this is really like. But Liquid Springs here, they are a liquid suspension, and they're really big into the forest industry, forest service, emergency, EMS vehicles, adventure trucks. And they also produce things for large RVs, a lot of Class A's. And we're hoping that they come out with something for our Freightliner Super Cs as well. But this already has been tried, tested, and proven. Thousands of vehicles out on the road today utilizing this technology. But this Liquid Spring suspension really elevates this commercial grade truck ride to, I would be honest with you, it drives like a Cadillac and really takes all of the rough truck feel out of it and gives you a great on-road performance and gives us the capability to be able to go off-road like we are today. What's so important that you know about this Liquid Spring suspension is that it's truly designed to go off-road and give you that great on-road performance. Look, anybody can just lift this vehicle and put a bigger wheel and tire on it. We wanted something that is totally designed for people that want to use it. This is not a all-show vehicle. This, while it looks great, it's truly purpose-built. So now let's talk about where Elevation Off-Grid has come in and what they offer as part of this package. So easiest place to start is our 41-inch Goodyear tires. And this is they use this in their off-grid package with a lot of their adventure trucks, and we've teamed up with them to put this wheel and tire. This is a forged wheel, and they've also converted this to a single rear wheel in the back of the coach. So normally you come as a dual tire, but we've upgraded this to a single rear wheel conversion for better off-road performance. 41-inch tires, forged wheels, great off-road, but I will tell you with the liquid springs, these tires are great on-road as well. Very impressed. We also offer with Elevation Off-Grid this larger fender flare because it, one, looks great, but it's, again, gives you enough protection here and gives the coach just a totally different look. Painted in this gloss black. I want to go ahead and move you over to the front of the coach because we've got a lot of features here. So first is this Elevation Off-Grid exclusive bumper. This is a powder coated bumper. It's steel. It is heavy duty. We have a worn 16,000 pound winch with a synthetic rope built into it. And there's a remote control that operates this winch. And then really to top off this, we have some incredible lights from Baja Design, starting with this Baja Design's light bar. We have forward-facing lamps and as well as cornering lamps. And I can tell you, I took our team out into the evenings. We went on some fire roads. We went off-road with this. These lights are an absolute game changer. And to tell you, they are quite expensive, but they're absolutely worth the money. This package alone, so you got the off-grid suspension from Liquid Springs, you have the off-grid package here from Elevation, the wheels and tires. You're talking about you're starting around a $65,000 to $70,000 upgrade from a normal Veracruz. And there's some other custom options we can work with you on if you want to order something a little bit different than this, but this is a fantastic package, truly built and purpose-driven for you to go use off-grid. We're on the driver's side of the vehicle, so now I'm gonna go over all really the mechanical side here and what's going on. Moving down the side here, of course, we have our entry doors. And what I love about Ford is I do have a locking keypad here. So like what I like to do, go park our RV, go park this thing out, get in my camp spot for a few days ahead of time, like 4th of July weekend. I'm up here in Pine, Idaho, and if you don't get a spot about a week beforehand, so I can throw my keys in it, lock it, and I'm ready to go. You'll also notice under the coach, we have leveling jacks that can level the coach. But what's really cool about Liquid Springs, I'll get into it a little bit more inside when we look at the controller, this has a feature called True Earth Leveling, which is gonna change the game for anybody that has this vehicle. With the Liquid Spring suspension, it's load sensing. So it can raise and lower the vehicle in all 4 corners and get this thing level for you. So you don't even have to use the leveling jacks. And of course, since we have a 2 or 4 inch lift on this vehicle with 41-inch tires, the leveling jacks won't even be your best option for leveling anyways. So total game changer with True Earth Leveling. Moving on down the side here, we have side cameras and a backup camera on this coach. You'll see in the camera system inside the cockpit, these cameras go off to my side. This is a pretty wide vehicle. We're about 8 foot wide, 8.5 foot wide overall. So having this is able to help supplement my great Ford mirrors to be able to see my blind spot inside the coach. Right here we have our diesel exhaust fluid, so an easy access point for me able to fill diesel exhaust. But while we're talking about diesel and diesel exhaust fluid, talk about capacity. 66 gallons of diesel fuel on board of this thing. So for those of you that really want to go way out there, and you're not going to go places where there's a lot of diesel available to you, want to be able to go way out there. Tons and tons of fuel capacity on board at 66 gallons. Okay, moving on. We're going to open up this compartment, and a lot of you are probably wondering, hey, off-grid, you say it's off-grid because you got some fancy tires and suspension, but if I'm gonna go out for maybe a week on end, do I have enough battery capacity? And I'm excited to share with you, this is the best lithium package we can get on a Veracruz. We're using the Dragonfly Energy lithium battery system. These are 3 100 amp hour lithium batteries. And we have a 3000 watt inverter on board, as well as 3 175 watt solar panels. And the feedback that I'm hearing from our customers is they just absolutely love this battery package. We use these on our Renegade Classics, the same brand as well, which is one of our top end models. This is a fantastic package. And I can honestly tell you that running your coach overnight for 8 to 12 hours in the middle of the night is absolutely no problem. And we'll get into the generator as well to talk about capacities. Here we have our 36-foot shore cord. So this would be plugs into 50 amps. So if I am at my house charging the vehicle, of course, a lot of you are gonna be boondocking in this, but if I have a charge cord at home, or if I'm at an RV park with this thing, you'll get all the looks at the RV park, by the way. We've been getting looks every time we drive this. There's people hanging out the window, so this is quite the attention getter. Anyways, I digress. This is a power cord reel, so it comes in with a button right here. And this has an automatic transfer switch and surge guard protector built into the coach as well. Moving on down. I did just want to talk a little bit here. You'll see this fender well here. There is over 7 inches of adjustment here when we adjust the coach. We can go into high ride modes, low ride modes. We can dump this to its lowest setting. Insane amount of adjustment on this. Okay, water. This is our water filling station and where I dump, my dump controls and things of that nature. So, off-grid, how much water does this have? 75 gallons of fresh water on board, 45 gallons of gray and 45 gallons of black. So a really great offering. I can tell you that, a couple people can shower for, 4 or 5 days with that much water on board. And let's say, your gray tank size, the nice thing is that the gray water would be easy to access to dump. If you are off grid for a while and you need to dump it, very easy to do so. We have an inline water filter, black tank flush, all the things that you would see on a normal RV that come with the Veracruz. Okay, moving here. This is our black and gray tank setup, as I'd mentioned, with your integrated sewage hose and an easy access point for you to be able to dump your sewage. Moving on to the back of the coach, I want to point out, of course, the trailer hitch, 12,000 pound towing capacity. And I got to be honest with you, what I was so excited about this when I was talking with our team is the fact that I could be able to pull our boat and dock it and load the boat with this vehicle. Because of the ground clearance and the overhang, I can easily launch a boat, I can tow it. And with this is short enough and it's supposed to be your vehicle. You shouldn't really need a tow vehicle. So for those of you that are fishermen or boaters, people that want to have a jet ski, whatever, you have plenty of towing capacity at 12,000 pounds. And I gotta be honest with you, the Liquid Springs has done a fantastic job. I towed a few 100 miles with this and it's really helped stabilization while towing. So I think this is just an absolute value add from Liquid Springs just to talk about towing. You can just see how much ground clearance I have here. I'm about 5'10", so you can see just how much angle we have here. But moving on, we have, of course, our brake lights, backing up lights. We have our rear view camera out here, and you'll see as we go inside, we have a nice window facing out the back in the bathroom, which is really lovely. So moving on to the side here, we have some really cool things to talk about. I want to go ahead and open up this compartment and give you a second to really look at how big this Cummins Onan diesel generator is. This is an 8,000 watt generator, or 8 kilowatt, which this particular generator goes on all of our highest end coaches. This is a fantastic generator. And as I mentioned, there's 66 gallons of fuel on board. So if I am going off grid, like in this situation that we are in today, having my generator to be able to run my air conditioners in the heat of summer, you know, in Idaho right now, even up in the hills, you know, we can be up to 100 degrees or so in the hottest part of the day. And having this redundancy built in with a great solar package, a great lithium package, team that up with this generator, you just have an absolute off-grid dream here. Next, I want to point out, this is our propane fuel station. There's a 20-gallon propane tank in this, and what I love is Renegade mounted this in between the frame rails. So we're not taking up a storage compartment like a lot of RVs do, because we need a lot more space in our cargo compartments for the stuff we're bringing. We also have a quick connect right here, so if I want to bring a grill or a stove, you know, fire solo stove or something like that, open up this compartment. This side is where you have most of your storage space is on this coach, is on your side over here, the curb side. Moving up to the side of the coach, this is a premium feature. This is the Truma AquaGo on-demand propane heater. So it is a instant hot water heater. So 75 gallons of water, 20 gallons of propane, a great situation for when I am boondocking, I can have a nice, comfortable on-demand shower. No 8 or 10 gallon water heaters. Those are a thing of the past with the Veracruz. Here we have our furnace. We have 35,000 BTU furnace on board, as well as a 15,000 BTU air conditioner. Large storage compartment here, as well with a turnout, so be able to run an extension cord or something if I needed to run a hose, anything through here. I also have a outlet on board here inside this coach. We have an outside entertainment center with a TV, a sound bar, and a charging station here with a USB port, which I love being able to sit at the campfire, be able to watch television. We have our entry door, and Renegade makes a nice wide entry door with a pretty good step here, even with us being in the highest position, an easy step and a nice grab handle here, easy to open. I have a bug screen as well. You'll also notice, again, side view camera here on the left-hand side. We also have our porch light, and we have thermopane windows on board. I do want to talk about windows for a second. So we have thermopane windows. A lot of them open up throughout the coach, as we'll see inside. Along with all those features, I also have this really large Girard awning, which is almost the entire length of the coach here. And has an LED rail. It also has a wind motion sensor. So if I am camping, I go out mountain biking for the day, and I left my awning out, I can rest assured that if the wind picks up while I'm out, the awning comes in automatically. Wonderful feature from Girard. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at inside the coach and look at all the Bevia features inside. Okay, well, before I slid the slide out, I know a lot of you are gonna be wondering, hey, what's this thing like with the slide out in? We have a pretty decent sized one here. So what can I do? Because I'm gonna be in tight spaces, I'm gonna be going to truck stops, I'm gonna be staying in Walmart parking lots, things of that nature. So can I use this thing with the slides in? And the answer is absolutely. So let's show you what you can do. Well, first of all, I can use all of my kitchen space. We'll get into more of the details of the kitchen and everything later, but kitchen, have plenty of access for full width of my cabinets. Access here, I have full control of being able to cook. Access my home screen panel. I have my access to my sleeper booth dinette here for lunch, or if I need to convert it into a bed, I can do that here. I have access to my bunk behind me. Moving on back here, this will probably be the tightest section of the coach. You can still access your fridge, full access to the freezer, just like so. Cabinets, pantries here, easy to pull out. And then right here is of course our Jiffy sofa. And if you do have people staying with you, this does convert into a flat surface. This is more for the Murphy bed to fold down, but there is a flat surface here that you could put somebody on for a quick nap. TV, and then of course, really one of the most important things to be able to access is the restroom. And we have a pocket door here, we have our toilet, and then of course our shower here. So all this is not attached to the slide. The only thing that are on the slide is the Jiffy sofa, Murphy bed, and the dinette. So let's go ahead, let's slide this thing out, let's level it, and see the rest of the features. Okay, so now that I have the slides out, wanted to give you a full perspective because this really opened up the coach with this thing pushed out. So wanted to point out a few things. First of all, 82-inch interior height. And on the overall height, I failed to mention on the outside, the tallest point, even in the highest position, once we raise these suspension up, is 12 foot 10 inches to the very tallest. In driving, we're about 12 foot 5 inches, so a whole, a lot shorter. But 82-inch interior height, makes it a nice place to be. Nice width here. We have in this package here, we've ordered the Hampton Decor package, which gets you these colors of solid surface countertops. We have the white and gray two-tone cabinets, which it really is just a welcoming package here with the two-tone. We have our Congolium one-piece vinyl flooring here, and it looks very good. It looks like wood plank. We really like it. Moving on over to the furniture, as I'd mentioned, this is a convertible booth dinette, so this turns into a sleeper. It's also pretty deep, so you can comfortably sit a few people in it. So I can sit here, play cards, whatnot. And then I also have a nice view out the side of the coach as well in front of me, and these windows all open up. So I have easy access to open my windows here, and then I have window shades here that are just mechanical that work really well. But what I like to do, open up that window there and turn on my overhead vent, and it pulls a nice morning breeze, get some of that mountain air. While we're here, it's important to mention that there's 2 seat belts that are in here so you can take the family with you. We have an outlet right behind you as well. And we have pull out storage. And this is a good spot to be able to put the cushions in to convert this to a full booth. And there's another one right on that side. Moving back, of course, we have a full length mirror here and outlets on the side, but this is really what makes this floor plan unique. And in that, I have the most amount of seating space here. So I have what we call a Jiffy sofa. I have easy access to my TV and sound bar here. And then of course, cup holders. So just a nice place for when I'm not sleeping, I don't have a huge bed in my way and I have to walk around it. So I keep the floor space nice and open. Now, let's go ahead and convert this to a bed and show you how easy it is. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my armrests. Very simple, they just pop out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this Jiffy sofa out so I have my flat platform. I'm gonna unlock the Murphy bed and just pull it on down. Voila. So, a nice king bed here. This is a mini king bed. It's 66 wide, 72 inches long. And in the bed, I have a lot of nice touches. We have, of course, overhead cabinets. We have reading lights. We have a small nightstand so I can put my phone or whatever have you on them. And then I have an outlet with USB charging ports and a nice window behind me. So really a very good sized bed. And then of course with the Murphy function, being able to walk around it when I need to. But even with the bed out, I mean, honestly, you still have a good amount of room here. So if you wanted to keep it down, there's no problem with doing so. And to bring it right back to its normal home, you just lock a few buttons. We call it a day. Okay, moving on through, just why this was at easy height level, I just wanted to show that you'll have this multiplex panel. There's a main home screen we're going to talk about a little bit later, but it's important to know that you have a lot of these control panels throughout the coach, in the bathroom, and many other places that have a different amount of functions, but we have dimmable lights throughout the coach. You can easily turn all the lights on and off, start and stop my generator. Nice to have in different locations in the coach. Okay, next we're going to talk about the bathroom, which also doubles as your closet. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the closet now here, which Renegade I think has done a nice job here. We have a clothes hanger. We have some extra shelving up here for more storage. And then you also have, just so for those of you that are wondering, the water tank and the water pump is all easily accessible behind these panels, just like so. Okay, of course I have my little vanity here, outlet. I have a medicine cabinet, shelving. They've gotten really nice and innovative with how they can add more storage in a small space. My toilet paper holder goes right here. Of course, my toilet's here. Again, I have plenty of leg room here. Again, I'm 5'10", so I'm not the longest of legs, but it's still a very nice spot for leg room. Okay. Moving into the shower. So shower here. Again, so the top of this is 82 inches, but with a skylight in the shower, I have just even more headroom as I've got to step up into a platform. And then I have a good amount of width here. I have I have an adjustable shower head to be able to soap up. I have integrated shelves here. So a nice shower right here in the back. I've briefly mentioned it, but I wanted to talk about the television. So smart TVs on board, Bluetooth soundbars. And then really this is just going to double as your, just more storage with adjustable shelving in here in both locations. So adjustable shelving. I can take away panels if I needed to store something longer. Nice pull-out drawers with soft closes, which is a signature Renegade touch. They don't like to cut corners. And then for you gearheads, want to know how can I access, that's why I showed you the water and the water pump, but also where all your fuse boxes are. And of course, your breaker panels with a diagram showing you fuses in everything that you need to do. Also on the multiplex panel, there will be error codes there that we can diagnose the coach. Moving right along, just gonna keep going through the storage. Really nice pantry here with adjustable shelving again, and then having these pull-out drawers everywhere. Gives you a variety of options. More storage. This is a very nice and deep, again, with adjustable shelving. So again, just keep talking about how good of a job Renegade's done with storage solutions in a pretty short coach at 30 feet overall. Refrigerator and freezer. This is a 12-volt refrigerator, so we're not tied to your inverter with this system. So with the lithium and solar, you should be able to run your fridge all day and all night, no problem. Just to give you an example of how big the fridge is, it is a pretty decent sized fridge with adjustable shelving for drinks. And then I have my freezer as well. Talk about the kitchen. Probably the most important thing to talk about in the kitchen is how do I cook things. So we have a mini duo. We have a 2-burner induction cooktop by True Induction. We love induction cooktops nowadays. It really is in all of our coaches as a standard because of what a nice feature it is. If you're new to induction, it uses, you can use an induction pan or just a metal pan that uses magnets to be able to instantly cook. Our customers are raving about it. We love them, and Renegade is just moving to this. So no propane stove on this one because how good this is. We also have a convection microwave oven combo, and it's a pretty good size. So you can put any frozen pizza in there or anything like that, no problem. Talk about the sink. Renegade's done a good job again of having a nice cover for when I need the counter space, but also a really good single sink here, which makes cleaning very easy. It's adjustable spray head as well. We also, to extend my counter space, we have a really nice kick out right here, so I can be chopping veggies, cleaning. Again, very innovative on the storage and counter space solutions in the Veracruz. Nice kitchen window here so I can be able to keep an eye out on the kids while they're riding bikes outside. A venting window. Again, more storage here. And just a little storage spot here right above the microwave. And this microwave is vented to the outside. I did fail to mention that. Here we go. In here, of course, we have the sink hanging here, but we also have a nice spot for a trash can. We also have our controller here for the Truma AquaGo propane water heater. And then lots of drawers here for silverware. And then finally, just another big cabinet here that would be nice. You could either add more shelving if you needed to, but really the induction cooktop, another advantage is it takes a very small footprint, so I can get more space here in these cabinets. We have a nice tile backsplash here along with an outlet, so I can be running a coffee pot. Lots of things to talk about in the kitchen. But let's go ahead and talk about the multiplex panel from Firefly, because that's really what is the brains of this whole thing. So this is the Firefly system, and it's been a great technology piece from Renegade. I can do pretty much anything from this panel, such as we're in the home screen, I can turn my lights on and off. I can adjust my temperature, start and stop my generator. I can see my house batteries. I can see our fresh tanks, gray tanks, black tanks, water pump, propane, just a total command center for this RV. Again, a lot of you that are gonna boondock wanna know about power. You wanna know about the mechanics and electrical systems. So with this Firefly panel, I have a lot of information here. So of course, for time, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here, but it gives you a lot of data about what is going on with the electrical system in your coach, talking about batteries, inverters, breaker boxes, transfer switch. All those things can be easily controlled here. This coach also has auto generator start on it, or AGS. And AGS kicks on your generator for two different reasons. If the temperature outside gets too hot, you can set it, say, hey, if it gets to, let's say, 85 degrees outside, go ahead and kick the generator on. And as long as you have your AC set, generator comes on, air conditioning comes on. Or if my batteries, of course, get too low, if I'm worried about them getting low, and I have that fail safe of the generator kicking on in that situation. So if you're out mountain biking, fishing, and you're worried about if you want to leave a dog, and you're worried about the heat, and you don't want to run your generator in AC all day, AGS is a great solution. Or in the scenario that I was saying, if you want to drop your coach off for a week beforehand at your camp spot, the AGS will kick on and make sure when you come back, you have full batteries. Last thing I want to talk about is the mobile app, and give a little plug about IWS as well. So this system can integrate with a Bluetooth app on either the iPad that we provide you or your cell phone. And what's great about IWS, with our Advantage package, when you buy this Veracruz, we sell you an iPad, or we give you a iPad for free. And with this iPad, we're gonna have Advantage videos that are on here to show you how to operate this control panel, how to control the systems on this coach. And as well as you can download the Firefly app and be able to operate the coach from the iPad. And with this, just to give you a small plug about us, we also give you a 24-hour cell phone number that you can get a hold of us at any time. We give you 5 years of free roadside assistance because we want you to know we're gonna be there for you. And we give our customers exclusive service treatment. Okay, moving on. Right over here. Talk a little bit about just the entryway. Here I have, of course, my bug screen. I have a little shade behind the door that I can control. I have a fire extinguisher. Renegade's done a nice job of also putting a grab handle here. So as I exit the coach, I have a good grab handle. This TV is also on a swing out. So if I'm sitting at the dinette or at the Jiffy sofa, I can have a TV here so we can all watch the same TV, and it's at a convenient location. So in the bunk, if I have a kid or somebody sleeping here, they can also watch TV. So TV is appropriately placed in this RV. Okay. Next, I want to talk about the cab over bunk. One of our favorite features, and most of our Super Cs even have this over the cab bunk because it's so versatile for a variety of reasons. Of course, sleeping is a main concern. However, to be honest with you, one of the best things about it is just having a lot more storage. So this creates a flat platform. So I have tons of storage so I can throw long things up here. And Renegade's just honestly made this a nice place to be. So if there is people sleeping up here, but it's nice for mood setting as well because I have a nice LED lighting in the back here. I have tons of charging ports here. So even if I'm just charging phones or devices up here, I'm not taking it up in the living space. Cubby holes. This is also on this is a window with a power shade. We also have this privacy curtain here that's easy to slide out if I have somebody that wants a little bit of privacy in the coach. And then of course, one of the biggest advantages that Renegade's done a nice job integrating with the Ford chassis is being able to step down into my seat from the living area. It's a bit different as you have to step down. This cockpit here, they've made a nice platform for you to be able to stand on so that I can get in and out fairly easily. So I'll go ahead and show you how to get out. This is a great great feature from Renegade because many of our competitors, that is, don't offer this, and some even have just a very small square hole that you actually have to crawl through. I've seen, it's insane. So being able to step down into this is a nice feature. Okay, last thing to show you here, just a small hanging closet here, or if you're a trap shooter, maybe some rifles here, or maybe some collapsible fishing poles, longer storage goes right there. Another outlet with a nice little countertop, and then a little storage solution there. So as you can see, Renegade's just done a fantastic job throughout the entire coach, integrating unique little storage shelves, kick up countertops, fold out beds, just a lot of interesting things that I think make this a totally versatile coach, whether you're just a couple, it's just you and your significant other, or if you have a family. This coach supports everybody. This has tons of sleeping options with the bunk and the dinette. So bring the grandkids, bring the kids, or just you and your partner can enjoy this as well. So lastly, we're gonna go ahead and give you a full walkthrough of the interior of the cockpit, and then we're gonna go for a drive and see what this thing's made of. All right, we're sitting in the Veracruz, the Ford F-550 chassis. And to be real honest with you, Ford's done a nice job for the driving experience. So we have their new Sync 4 system for one. So wireless CarPlay, which is awesome on an F-550 XLT. I mean, this is a commercial spec truck. So to have wireless CarPlay here, to be able to run Waze, Apple Maps, and those types of things, wonderful. And it's actually a very nice optimum screen size there. I have a lot of button controls here. This also has, you know, like lane departure warning integrated into it. I have volumes controls, very nice for the passenger, or for the driver that is, with an airbag. Column shift here. This is a 10-speed automatic transmission, which from Ford. What I like about this commercial spec, as I kind of mentioned it earlier, is all the controls, you know, they're rubber or hard plastic, which for those of you that are off-roading, this is very easy to clean, very robust, not going to break on you. So I just love the feel of everything, mechanical switches, you know, everything's going to a screen now. This feels like what a lot of you are gonna like for a driving experience. We have lots of outlets, charging ports all over, very comfortable for your passenger or for yourself. Lots of storage space for phones, what have you. We of course have lots of good glove box space in and out everywhere, cup holders. So we'll talk a little bit more about it on the drive, but this drive mode selector is very handy. We have a 2-speed transfer case here, so we're right now we're in 2-wheel drive, but of course we have 4 low and 4 high. And just from Ford, having this wheel here for drive mode, I have normal driving mode, I have tow haul mode when you're towing your boat, we have eco mode, and then as I'm scrolling through here, I have slippery road mode, I have off-road mode, which automatically detects for you, hey, should you be in 4 high, 4 low, and it adjusts shift patterns. A very, very cool thing from Ford here with the different drive mode selectors. This particular spec has an integrated trailer brake controller, which looks wonderful, works great. When we're towing, actually, there's a lot of features here where, like when I hooked my boat up to this, it tells me, it lets me manage my trailer's maintenance. It recognizes different trailers that I own. So if you're like me and you have a car hauler, you have a UTV trailer, you have a boat trailer, it'll remember which trailer that you're plugged into. It'll check the lights for you. So very purpose built by Ford and built for towing. We also have a exhaust brake here, which I love as we're coming down the mountains here into Pine Reservoir. You know, because we're sitting, this thing is right around 17,500 pounds after we just put it on the scale. So we got a lot of weight sitting here. So having that supplemental exhaust brake coming down a hill or while pulling a trailer gives me a great comfort. Other than that, and I also would say I was pretty impressed with the speakers system in here. Just comes stock from Ford. The seating is great. A very comfortable spot. We also have heated seats. These are a powered seat. We have power windows. Adjusting in and out is manual, but really you would keep them out in the fullest length anyways, just because of how wide this is. Important to note that we have auxiliary switches in here. These are all tied to the Baja design lights that we have on the coach. But just a really clean, simple system that works great. We have, of course, reading lights. But honestly, one of my favorite things is I have what would be your rear view mirror setup as my backup camera on, and it's on all the time. So it's just a game changer when I'm towing my trailer, or if I'm just driving down the road, seeing what's coming up behind me. And it's in a natural location like my rear view mirror would be if I was driving this as a normal pickup. And lastly, before we get on the drive and we talk about the liquid spring controller that's integrated right here. So with that, I think it's just time to go drive this thing and show you on the on-road, off-road performance, talk about the liquid spring driving dynamics, talk a little bit about why Super C is good. So let's go out on the road. All right, here we are. We're on the road in the Veracruz, the off-grid series. I've been driving this thing along with our sales team and marketing team for a little over a week and a half now, and we've taken it everywhere because we really wanted to give you. We wanted to test the product, right? We want to make sure whatever we're selling to you actually can do what we're claiming it can do. Wanted to get familiar with it. You know, we're new to liquid springs and elevation off-grid and this whole deal. What we're not new to is trucks, right? We've been making our living for the last 25 years by selling trucks or Super Cs like this. And just before we get into the on-road performance, just want to tell you a little bit about why we love the Super C category. You know, an RV with a truck chassis on board, like the Ford F-550. So a few reasons, right? For many of our customers, they drive pickups, they drive SUVs. But even if you haven't before, maybe you've driven a sedan your whole life, but you want to get into this RVing thing, this truck chassis is really comfortable for just anybody coming from a normal car or SUV. And a lot of the reasons that is because of the seating position, where the hood is, where the mirrors are, where the doors are. In many like Class A RVs, there's no exit doors. The seating position is much different. You're sitting right over the tire rather than behind the axles. You're usually sitting right on top of them. There's no hood out in front of you. You have a giant windshield. This is a more, this is a tighter cockpit, which is a very comforting feeling, especially for if you are like off-roading in this, being able to see your hood, be able to have those guiding lines is a great advantage. Okay, next thing is just talking about serviceability. This F-550 chassis is a commercial spec F-550. So anywhere that a Ford commercial center is, you can get this taken to get it looked at. So easy serviceability. I have an engine out in front of me, I have an airbag. And so, and Ford has to meet certain safety criteria. This has to get automotive crash tested. Many Class A's don't go through that same type of situation and testing. Okay, now that I've said my piece on that, let's talk about just overall driving characteristics. So liquid springs, they're closed loop liquid spring smart suspension system is really designed for premium on-road performance. So really high active compression rates. So with their liquid spring technology, you're just getting instant response times. I have just noticed an incredible difference between a stock F550 that the Veracruz comes on with this suspension package. This really feels much more comfortable. And the easiest way I could say is this feels more like my F150 Lariat than it does a ginormous truck. I'm really thoroughly impressed, and you can just see all the reviews from Liquid Springs, because a lot of the emergency service vehicles or Forest Service trucks, they have to be a big truck like a 450 or 350. And when you're on fire roads day in, day out, or rough roads, etc., you are getting beat up all day with those stock Super Duty, truck, leaf springs. So to add this is an absolute game changer. It's a back saver. It makes long road trips much more desirable. And along with that, you have lots of different driver control. So I have, right now, like we're driving in normal mode, and normal driving mode feels great. It's tuned for just most normal driving conditions. However, when I jump into sport mode, which is really built for, hey, I got a long, twisty highway, I'm in a canyon carving, it's going to load sense, it's going to tighten up, and it's going to make going around these windy corners, it's going to really seat me well. And I just noticed a great difference, especially coming down into this canyon and into the reservoir here in Pine. Sport mode's been great. Now, there's also a comfort mode, which, hey, you know what? If I'm cruising I-84 and I'm going 75 miles an hour down the freeway, this thing just cruises and coasts for me. It's a little bit softer, a little bit more supple, and you can really feel it. And having that adjustability is just incredible. I'm geeking out about these things because we've just never been able to offer something like this before. We've totally increased the capabilities of this F550 chassis. So we talked about the driver controls. We talked about true earth leveling. And then really the other thing about this system is I have different ride heights I can use. Now, when I'm going normal, any speed above 15 miles an hour, there's a standard ride height that the system will automatically default to. And that is about 12'5" high overall length, or overall height, I should say. But that gives you the most amount of suspension travel, and it's what Liquid Springs tuned this to, and they did a great job. But let's say I am in a low, or I need some extra ground clearance, or I just want to lower my vehicle. Maybe I have a pre-existing garage or shop that I need to just get a few extra inches out of. I can lower this vehicle to a little bit lower height, which helps for, hey, I loaded our mountain bikes on here, and just getting that big hitch down just a few extra inches really helped me load bikes if I'm loading a trailer, or if I'm getting into a low ground clearance situation. And then, of course, I can increase the overall height. There's 7 inches of adjustability on this thing, which is crazy. And as we were you know, I don't want to say we took this rock crawling, but we did go down some trails with some rocks and some things that you just don't know about. Being able to raise it up just a little bit extra for that peace of mind and a little extra clearance has been great. Next, I want to talk about off-roading, because if you're watching this video and you saw our advertisements, you're probably going to want to do that, right? And that's what this was built for. So we wanted to run it through its paces. What is too much for this thing? Is there too much, right? There's not a lot of competition. This is a unique thing. The closest thing you could imagine is a earth roamer, and they do a great job. So what is this capable of? Well, to be honest with you, this can take any fire road imaginable. It can go many places. It can cruise right up to the beach. It can go many places that no other RV can really go. However, for full transparency, I would tell you that there are some limitations. If I was going on, you know, this is not a rock crawler, to be real honest with you. It can go over rocks, but trying to, you know, climb Moab like a Jeep would, that's just not what this is. However, we've just been so impressed about, you know, we went to Crater's Edge in Idaho here. We've gone places down that I just would have never have dreamed of taking any of our Super Cs or even this Veracruz beforehand. I would feel good about traveling to Alaska in this, on some of those highways. You can go, I feel so much more confident in this by going down a dirt road that I don't know what's at the end, because I'm at a shorter length. I have this off-road tires and wheels set up. I have the liquid string suspension on my side. Lastly, I want to talk about the Ford powertrain. So again, we have the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel engine and the 10-speed automatic transmission. We have 330 horsepower and 800 foot-pounds of torque. And I can really tell you with confidence that this powertrain mated with this transmission has been a smooth operator for, even before we did the liquid spring setup. It's been a great powertrain. We love it on the commercial side. And when you integrate that power and technology with all the driving modes that Ford offers, and then pair it up with the liquid string suspension, you have a really, it's chef's kiss. But I had no problem towing our 5,000 or 6,000 pound boat up and down mountains with climbing out. I had no power issues. You can feel confident. You can cross-country travel in this and not be underpowered. I did want to mention as well that we do have this speedometer calibrated, and that's from Elevation Off-Grid. So these big tires, this lift, the speedometer is calibrated. And we also have an upgraded sway bar built into the coach. So with Elevation Off-Grid and Liquid Springs, they've thought about the driver. And a lot of you, this is about the journey is just as important as the destination, right? And a lot of you are going to enjoy driving this because it's unlike anything I've seen before, to be honest with you. We've let everybody in our facility drive this because it's just something you have to experience for yourself. All right, well, that's gonna do it for us today on this walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. We ask that you please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have content coming out all the time. Please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you, any questions. But we're gonna leave a link in the description for a little bit more info about this unit so you can check it out, and our contact info. And I wanna let you know that this unit is available. Also, we have many more coming that we'd like you to go ahead and get an order placed. Call us today. We can spec you out your very own off-grid series Veracruz. And the lead time is about 6 months. So now is a good time to get your order placed with us and get one coming. So give us a shout. But otherwise, I hope to see you off the road.